So have you ever been told it's better to give than to receive? And in your business, you're doing your best to give and give and give. And you're starting to wonder, when is that receiving actually going to come back for me, right? And it's one of those things. I remember one time I was giving a massage to a client, and she was talking about how bad her shoulders hurt and the tension in her neck. And inside, I was thinking, you bitch, you don't know how bad I hurt. And for me, that was a wake-up call. It was time for something to shift. Now, I also remember I'm really into creating my own homemade cleaning products. I'm all about being eco-friendly. And I remember where I wanted to do a class where I was going to show and invite my clients in to learn how to make these homemade cleaning products. And I remember the advice I got from my mother, and I love my mother, and my mother also doesn't have her own business. So this is the advice my mom gave me, and I think that it's an extreme example of what so many of us holistic practitioners take on, and we wonder why it doesn't work. But my mom told me, she said, you know what, Laura? Don't charge too much for the class itself, because you want people to, learn how to do this and have something to take away. I was like, okay. And then she says, and don't charge too much if they want to buy the products from you, because you want to make sure that they come back and get more. And don't charge too much for the refills, because you want to make sure that they can keep coming back for more. And at some point with this whole strategy of don't charge too much for them to come, don't charge too much for the products, don't charge too much for the refills, don't charge too much for this, I looked at this and I looked at my numbers and I said, where am I actually supposed to make a profit in this? Because this isn't sustainable. And we have to remember, in order for your business to be sustainable, you actually have to be filled up first. And again, I see this in so many practitioners I coach, is that their model is give, 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 and don't allow myself to receive too much in return. But you also know, as a human being, as a, beautiful blessing of nature, giving and receiving are actually two sides of the same coin. And in fact, as somebody who preaches the power of presence, giving and receiving is really about presence, of being in relation, in the moment, being in relationship with the client, right? And so you have to be willing to receive in order to give. And here's the fun part. As you allow yourself to receive, you amplify your ability to give. Now, I actually have another story around this as well. I remember I went to this amazing workshop where we talked about and spent 2 days in a space of being fully receptive. The lecture was not go give more, go give more, go give more. The whole workshop was about how can you receive? How can you receive the power of the present moment? How can you receive all the abundance in your life and allow it to fill your body? And I left that workshop and I decided to play a little bit with this. And what I did is, instead of giving a massage to my clients, instead of giving a coaching session to my clients, what I did is I simply allowed myself to receive the client. I received the tension in their shoulders. I received their muscles literally would come up into my hands, and I could feel their body as we became present to each other in that perfect, giving and receiving relationship. And I received their words. I received their energy. I received that intuitive voice of what was actually going on under the surface. And what happened was, without even having to think, without even having to expend additional energy, I would give the perfect session. They would get off the table and say, how did you know to go to that certain spot? And it wasn't that I knew how to get there. I was trying to give them a session. I just received them and their body guided me there. And so what I want to encourage you to think about is, how can you, allowing yourself to receive, actually amplify what you're able to give? Instead of giving to a place of depletion where you're exhausted and overwhelmed, what if you flip the script? What if you allow the receiving and the energy to come in, knowing that because you are a compassionate, loving human being with a heart that is dedicated to making a difference, when you allow the receiving to happen first, the giving happens automatically. And I think we as an industry, as a profession, we have to trust our ability to give, and we have to learn how to flex the muscle of receiving. Because we are here to make a big difference. We are here to contribute to our culture in a really big way. And guys, if you haven't noticed, there is an awakening happening, and we are the ones who are here to usher this in and support our clients in so many amazing ways. But in order to do that, we have to heal this wound that says that we can't receive for being ourselves. And so I want to challenge you to receive. Receive abundantly for who you are. Receive abundantly for your gifts, knowing that in turn, you will give, and you will give even more from a place of ease and love and true service to the world. This is Body Mind Living with Laura Wick. Thanks for watching.